Warning, this video is rated S for stupid. If you are allergic to or intolerant of stupid, please close the video now and watch something far more rational. You have been warned. Hello everyone, it's time for another very stupid video. Since the dawn of the waifu as a concept, the question that has prevailed above all others, that has haunted the very dreams of the average anime fan, video game enthusiast, or movie aficionado is the same. Who is Best Girl? Indeed, the coveted title of Best Girl is a status that waifus of all shapes and sizes have struggled to obtain since the dawn of time. Oh, certainly, they may all turn up their nose at it tsundere style and reply with a heart-crushing baka, but we all know the truth. As they kick you in the jimmy with the force of 100 uninterested tsunderes, they'll still cast a sidelong glance at the other girls on their roster, just daring them to challenge their position in the pecking order. It is a well-known truth that all women, and even some men, will throw their name into the ring of their respective universe for the oh-so-valuable title of Bestest Babe, Waifu to Ruin Your Lifeu, or, more commonly known as, the Best Girl. But the title of Best Girl remains very elusive in the world of For Honor. Just who is it? Who could possibly uphold such a magnificent title? What woman could dare to go above and beyond the blood, the sweat, and the cringe to become this player base's undisputed Best Girl? Today, we're going to find out. But before we begin, we must discuss the ground rules. Rule number 1. Only female gender-locked heroes will be included in this discussion. It's not that I don't think non-gender-locked heroes can't be attractive or desirable, but this is a contest of the Best Girl. And as far as I'm concerned, if you're so gender fluid a single button click can swap you out of the title of girl, you don't have enough confidence in your femininity to make the cut. Forgive me, female warden. No, you have a special place in my heart, but you must understand, or don't, it doesn't matter, it's all stupid anyway, so just roll with it. Number 2, there are 2 criteria the subjects must be able to meet: the short-term relationship and the long-term commitment. Certainly, asking one of these lovely ladies out on a date and having an enjoyable short experience is important, but it's just as important to know that you can maintain that relationship. We're not here to determine best jailbait or best one-night stand. We're here to determine Best Girl, and Best Girl is a woman who is not just wonderful for the moment, but wonderful always. There can be no substitute. And number 3, this is all my perspective, my opinion, and is, as I said at the beginning, very stupid. If you disagree with my conclusion, that's fine. You are free to embrace the stupid as well. It's free to all who seek stupid. Now, with all that out of the way, let's get started. Peacekeeper. Now, you can't really go wrong here, right? Peacekeeper has a face that just screams beauty. She's lovely to look at, small and delicate in frame, but savage up close. She's the kind of girl who will kiss your lips, wrap her arms delicately around you, and slip a knife between your ribs because you forgot it was your anniversary. And if that turns you on, well, you definitely need professional help, but you're also among good company. Now, do you like long walks on the beach? Do you take your date to the theater and share a bowl of popcorn? Do you like hitting up the dance club and giving in to that wild and crazy nature of yours? Well, good for you, but that's not Peacekeeper's scene. She's a very subtle creature. Best options for her are private strolls where no one can see you, sitting in a bedroom for long periods of time, just whispering sweet nothings to each other, and if you're real smooth about it, she may just let you look at her knife collection. You lucky dog, you! Just don't let her smell another woman's perfume on you, even if it's your own sister's, because you'll find out that PK might be hard to win over, but very easy to make jealous. If she can't have you, well, no one will. Of course, Peacekeeper does have her soft side. Behind that hood and under that light armor, there's a very delicate and sensitive creature. Why do you think she wears a hood at all? Peacekeeper has had it hard. She didn't choose the life of an assassin, and sometimes that means she'll be a bit vulnerable, you know? She'll want someone to hold her sometimes, to remind her that everything's all right. Though, don't squeeze too hard, that killer's instinct might kick in and she'll gut you like a fish. And also, expect her to be a light sleeper, and she'll never go without her dagger under her pillow, that's for sure. So she might just stab you if you snore too loudly, but if it makes you feel better, she'll apologize about it at your funeral and be very teary-eyed as a result. I kid, of course. And speaking of kids, Peacekeeper will be glad to become a mother. A part of her longs to play a nurturing role. Much like your forger, though, maintaining a motherly role when you're also a killer is gonna be tough to balance. But she can do it. She's got the skill, the dedication, and the raw killing instinct every mother needs. if you play your cards just right, dance in just the right way, and convince her she's the only homicidal woman in your life, then congratulations, my friend. There isn't a creature alive who will ever lay hands on you again. She's more devoted than a guard dog and 4 times as lethal. While she stays home to look after the kids and care for the house, you can rest easy knowing that nothing in your home or life will ever be at risk. Okay, sure, she may spy on you anytime you leave the house to buy milk, but she'll also never abandon you either. And if that's what you want in your woman, PK is the best you could hope for. That church-going assassin is just the most awesome you could get in that line of work. Okay, so she's a homicidal killer and a vicious assassin with some baggage in her life and some emotional trauma, but hey, aren't all women when you really think about it? Valkyrie. Okay, now, let's be honest here. We all like the shy girl, right? The one who's a little scared to show her face in public because she doesn't want people to think less of her. I mean, it's cute, right? So, by all accounts, the fact that Valkyrie won't show her face should win her some cuteness points, right? Well, it would, except this cute little flower could fold you like a pretzel and eat you while studying to find out how to say pretzel in Japanese. For though she may know many Northern and European languages, she still doesn't speak Japanese very well. Valkyrie's that girl who likes to work out. You know the type. Her ideal date is laying on her back and bench pressing you, your brother, and your best friend all at the same time. The term thunder thighs was invented the day this Miss Valkenheim did a jumping jack just a little too aggressively. Don't you worry though, if the gym isn't your scene, Valkyrie has lots of other hobbies. Those include hiking, running, long walks through the swamp, and occasionally bear wrestling. Oh, and under those circumstances, make sure to pack plenty of first aid kits. For the bear, of course. That thing didn't stand a chance. She'll also really enjoy camping. And can you imagine the fun that would be? Just picture this for me. You and her, sitting inside your tent next to a dimly lit lamp. Her muscles bulging ever so slightly as she moves in to give you a gentle hug. And as she does, she hugs a little too tight and your ribs snap like a twig. Oh, yeah, the pain will be intense, but just smile as she apologizes over and over, wrapping bandages around your body because, let's face it, this isn't the first time that's happened. Memories to tell the grandkids, am I right? But hey, don't let any of that scare you. Valkyrie is more than just a muscle mommy. She is a devoted and loving wife material. Unfortunately, she can't cook all that great, and cleaning isn't her specialty. In fact, she breaks more than she cleans. But boy, can she make some nice arm candy at dinner parties and nights out. I mean, you can play great party games with her like, hey, can you guess what's under my wife's helmet? No one ever wins this game, of course. Even you're not quite sure. She wears that face protection even in bed. And of course, having children with her is going to be a treat. She'll raise those babies up to be just as tough as she is, and they'll know who wears the pants in your relationship, so confidence is a must. After all, when you really get down to it, Valkyrie won't be interested in any man who can't be confident around her. Because deep down, Valkyrie doesn't want to feel like a monster mama. She wants to feel wanted. She wants to feel delicate and loved and cared for. If you can't exude confidence around her, she won't feel small next to you. Of course, Valkyrie's going to make most men feel small next to her regardless, but let's be fair. There's a kind of man out there who doesn't want a small, sweet little woman they might accidentally hurt. They want a titan they feel they must conquer. Am I right, fellas? Nobushi. You know, no one is quite sure where the term waifu first originated, but some speculate it was birthed when Nobushi started swinging her hips. Because let's be clear, it's hard to compete with Nobushi, especially when For Honor made the bold decision to take that mask off her face. Now, granted, she has this thing about makeup, but hey, when a lady says she needs to put her face on, you know better than to argue. In many ways, Nobushi doesn't belong on the battlefield. She's a homekeeper first and a warrior second. I mean, just look at the stitch work on most of her coats. She's a seamstress, y'all, a professional with a sewing kit. And Betty Crocker is no match for this kitchen wizard. Hand this girl some rice and give her 2 hours and your mouth will thank you for it. She'll take care of everything for you, from cleaning to laundry, and she won't want to argue. She's the definition of cute, devoted, and submissive. But this can all be a double-edged sword, because you gotta understand where it originates. Good luck just asking her out on a date. If you're lucky, she'll say yes after standing there stammering like a nerdy anime character who finally got her crush to notice her, but more than likely she'll just turn red as a tomato and pass out, again, very anime style, while calling you her senpai. Because you see, anime is Nobushi's life. She takes her cues from the latest manga and anime titles. How to please your man? How to behave on a date? The appropriate ways to deal with your love rival? The best meals to cook? All of these questions and more she'll have an answer to from some obscure anime you've never heard of. She's so obsessed she may even speak to you in broken bits of Japanese as if she thinks it's her native language or something. Talk about weeb, am I right? What? Sorry, what? Wait. That is her native language? Wow. That's pretty stinking weeb. Of all your options, though, Nobushi will probably be the best homekeeper out there. Should you decide she's marriage potential, Nobushi is skilled at all manner of cooking, cleaning, and homekeeping skills, all necessary to maintain her house for her family, because she puts family and anime first, because that's what anime told her to do. Of course, she'll want to be a mother as well, and you couldn't ask for more nurturing women to take care of your children than Nobushi. Although, and to be fair, she'll probably get them as hooked on anime as she is. But I suppose it could be worse. I'd personally rather have my kids Naruto running around the house than singing Steven Universe songs at school. But if it's a happy and functioning home you want, Nobushi is just the otaku for you. Just be careful, because as I recall, most anime protagonists don't have parents in the household. That could become a problem later. Nisha. Nisha is similar to Nobushi in many ways, except for two. Number one, she doesn't have a thing for anime like Nobushi does, though she does watch it on the side. And two, she is far more of a party girl. See, Nisha wants your attention, and your brother's attention, and your parents' attention, and your friends' attention. She wants the world's attention, because Nisha is a performer and a cultivator of the arts. From fan dancing to pole dancing, this girl wants to move for you and for everyone. She was first picked for captain of the cheerleader squad in high school, and it shows because Nisha knows how to make her body get all the attention. Dating her isn't as easy as you think. I mean, sure, it seems obvious. Take her to the clubs, let her live in her element, right? But my friend, you have yet to realize what will happen if you let her loose in such a place. Like a dog being let off its leash in a park full of fire hydrants, you will never see that girl again if you do this. Nisha has to be broken in a bit for you. She has to recognize the value you carry and the importance of keeping your attention above anyone else's. Until she recognizes how special you are, the world is still her theater and she is out to make a show. This can make short-term relationships exciting because she'll want you as an audience for the time being, but long-term relationships will be harder won. Nisha has a few skills outside of dancing and performance. She's decent in the kitchen, but I hope you like rice. She can't clean house all that great, and she's not out to make a name for herself in the business world, but she does want to have fun. Every day you live with her will be a day spent in pleasure, fun, and excitement. She's a playful thing, and once a ring is on her finger, she will be submissive, but to a point. You can't keep a songbird locked up and muted forever, so don't bother trying to. If you like a free bird and spirit by your side, when her spirit allows it, then she's the one for you, but be warned. Nisha always has a few tricks up her sleeve, and she's anything but predictable. By entering a relationship with this exotic beauty, you take a gamble. You have to be her number one, her most treasured person, as I said before. If not, she can and will seek her next thrill, her next adventure, and her next performance. She will require work from you to win her over, and that's no joke, because Nisha isn't necessarily looking for love as much as she is appreciation. But if you feel up to that challenge and you don't mind taking the risk, then extend a hand, get ready to dance, because you gotta keep up with the best, and Nisha won't settle for less. Warmonger. Love is war. And what war is complete without a warmonger, am I right, fellas? Warmonger is the definition of a yandere. She'll want you. Only you. Forever. And you better deliver. You better remind her daily that she's the only woman you love and the only woman you care about. The difference between her and Peacekeeper, though, is that Warmonger isn't reserved about anything. See, Peacekeeper likes things private and subtle. She doesn't want her baggage on display, and she doesn't want to share you or your private, intimate life. Warmonger's gonna pronounce her conquest of you to the world, and you better call her mommy, but only when she tells you to.
Mommy?
Griffin.
Sorry.
Griffin. For the last time, you must ask permission to call me War Mommy.
I've been a very bad boy.
Domination is her game, and you're not even a player. Dating-wise, Warmonger's gonna be hard to read. On the one hand, she'll say she's happy doing what you want, but of course what you want is always going to be whatever she wants. And what she wants are thrill-seeking and competitive games and sports. Paintball, combative video games, airsoft, action movies. All good thrilling stuff, right? Sure, but just be careful not to win. She doesn't like to lose. You will have little choice but to play a simp in this relationship, but hey, you wanted a dommy mommy in the first place, so I suppose that's exactly what you were planning to do. But the problem is that Warmonger can smell a weakling, so if you're too much of a simp, she'll figure it out and, well, to put it nicely, let's just say you two will part ways. As in, she will part you.
Part of you here, part of you there, and part of you way over there, staining the wall.
But let's say you get past the point of dating and move on to a committed marriage. Well, that's excellent right there and totally possible since Warmonger values commitment and loyalty. But don't expect her to do any of the cooking, cleaning, or housework. That's for the sheep, and her mama don't raise no sheep. And that goes for the children too. You can't expect War Mommy to not be a mommy, right? I mean, it's in the name. Sounds good and all right, but I expect you'll get a little jealous from time to time that your Dommy Mommy makes time for her actual children. Just fair warning, you can't be the she-wolf's favorite all the time once children are in the mix. But hey, it's fine. You'll spend more time with the kids than her after all, since she's going out to work daily to make that cheddar. What, did you think you were the breadwinner in this family? Get used to house life, friend, because that's what Warmonger's got in store for you. You do the cooking, you do the cleaning, you do the daily chores, and you are thrilled to see her come home to see what a good job you did. You might bark like a dog or bleat like a sheep. I don't recommend the latter though, because she has this thing about sheep. Let's not go into it too deeply. But do you want a relationship with a dominating, powerful, dangerous, and somewhat sociopathic mommy material? Well, someone call Tex Every, there's a wolf in the house. Shaman. Now, of course, there is a lid for every jar, as the saying goes. Unfortunately, the lid in this case is meant for a dog food can. Shaman is hardly waifu material. Good luck asking her out, she might just bite you for your trouble. Many have wondered if she's actually housebroken, and the answer to that is none are brave enough to ask her. Not that she'd care, etiquette and refined behavior is for humans, and the jury is still out whether or not Shaman qualifies as such. For you see, when people ask if you were raised by wolves, Shaman is perhaps the only person who could answer in the affirmative. She is hard enough to understand when she's not frothing at the mouth, but again, there are some out there who like the crazy ladies. And, well, while I can't relate with you, I can sympathize with you and must speculate what travesties took place in your life to lead you to this point. But most of your initial dates with her will consist of long walks in the park, where you will have to apologize when Shaman stops to relieve herself by a nearby oak tree. But on the plus side, if anyone thinks you're not meant to be, Shaman will certainly set them straight by breaking them in half. No one will have a bad word to say about you two, because Shaman will rip out their throats first. And just imagine the French kissing. Just be careful, because who knows what she's licked with that tongue prior to you. Yeah, that moment you saw her bending over the toilet, you might want to talk to her about that, if she speaks the King's English. I kid, of course. She doesn't speak English. And speaking of kids, don't expect Shaman to have just one. She'll have a whole litter. A bunch of little pups running around. That's right. If you decide you want to dedicate yourself to Shaman, well, I do suppose bestiality is a fetish for some folks too, but joking aside, the best part about Shaman in a relationship is you won't have to guess at anything with her. Unlike most ladies who are masters of wordplay and subtlety, where even a casual, "I'm fine with whatever," is secretly code for "read my goddamn mind if you really love me," and an innocent "does this dress make me look fat" secretly means "answer that I look gorgeous and anything I wear your ass is grass." But Shaman does not understand or care for such niceties, and she will gladly tell you what she thinks on the spot. She won't be shy about her opinions and her wants. A very easy to read date can be a blessing. The downside, though, is that Shaman is in no way a master of relationship values. When your sense of hygiene goes a little further than rolling around in the local pond until the dirt is out of your hair, you can't expect her to know how to have much home management. But hey, if you can have a crazy cat lady out there in the world, I suppose you can have a wild dog man out there too, right? And if you want to be married to your local rabid pit bull, then Shaman is the choice for you. Pirate. Okay, alright. Who doesn't want adventure, am I right? You want a lady who has an adventurous spirit. You want a woman who wants to go out on a boat with you and fish, challenge the high seas, and spend her time with you under the stars on a rocking ship, enjoying the comforts of the sea air, and all the while growing close to you in a way only an ocean voyage could allow. Well, in that case, pirate might just be the best choice for you, but don't think it's gonna be all margaritas and sunbathing on the deck of a ship. Pirate expects you to work. Pirate is the kind of woman who started from the bottom, got to the top, and you damn well better respect that. You want to stay on her ship? You're going to have to earn your place. You want to get close enough to even have romantic conversation? You better live up to her expectations. You want to have a chance to swab her poop deck eventually? You better be able to show you're more than just a lowly cabin boy. Pirate isn't like Warmonger, who wants everything her own way, though. She'll respect your opinion, your wants, your desires, and she'll even help you get them. For the right price. If there's one thing Pirate likes more than adventure, it's the plunder at the end of it. Pirate is the definition of a gold digger. So you want to get in bed with Miss Pirate Queen, show her the bling. And you want to propose to the swashbuckling princess? Dude, you'll need more than one ring, and all of them better be pretty shiny. Now, that's not to say you can't have a successful relationship with Pirate. After all, if you're wealthy enough to earn her attention or fearless enough to earn her respect, Pirate can be quite the catch. Dates with her will usually consist of long walks on the beach, trips in her ship, and I do mean her ship, of course. Your ship just makes her uneasy, and she'll do nothing but try to tell you what you should do better about maintaining and operating it. And she may drag you along on some fool treasure hunt once or twice, but just think of those long nights on the sand, gazing up at the sky, passing the time away. Truly romantic. But okay, let's drop all pretenses, guys, alright? Let's be real. That's not the best thing about Pirate. We haven't even touched on the best thing about Pirate. What's the best thing about dating Pirate? Booze. Alcohol. Rum. The rum is never gone when Pirate's around. That's right. Pirate's going to be the girl you go to when you need to get a taste of the creature. You want to get wasted? Pirate's your girl. They say things look better when you're drunk, and though some may say Pirate isn't much of a looker, one knock back of her special brew and she'll be the most beautiful thing on two legs for the rest of the night. So for all you sailing, money-loving, booze-guzzling fanatics out there, and don't lie, you know who you are, Pirate is definitely the fling for you. And I do say the word fling deliberately because a long-lasting relationship just won't work for Pirate. She's a free spirit. Her heart belongs to the sea. Marriage, kids, family. Sorry, brother. She's got to sail away with the tide. And probably your wallet, too. Check your pockets. It's probably gone. Aphira. Aphira is that kind of girl who has a rebellious streak. She's grown up the preacher's daughter, or I suppose Sultan's daughter in this case, which would make her more Muslim. And anyway, that's beside the point. Always she was the good girl who did what she was told. She followed the rules, listened to her teachers, she made straight A's, was voted prom queen, and got into college on scholarship. But deep down, there's a little rebel who wants to try new things. Play a little. The confines of the rules keep her shackled a little too strenuously. She's an animal just waiting to get loose. And if you want to help that animal out, then Aphira is going to be an adventure. Now, of course, she won't do anything too outlandish yet. I mean, after all, no drugs are allowed with her, obviously. Showing her face in public is going to be a little iffy. She always has to keep her face covered. And please don't ask her to hold hands. That's something married people do. Like, only married couples hold hands. Like, that's just so perverse. She is, after all, the little Muslim girl who got her hands on her first Bible and sneaks out every now and then to try out Sunday school when her parents don't know it. She just isn't sure that this risky life is the life she wants. You have to be easy with her. Take things slow. Take her to movies, to nice places to eat, maybe a little light dancing. Let her hair down, so to speak, and literally get her to feel comfortable with herself, and then you'll get to see what a desert flower she really is. And boy, can that girl move. Sure, I mean, she's not quite as intense as Nisha, but Aphira is a gymnast. Her hips can move in ways she can't believe. One date with her won't be enough for you or her. She'll want to sneak out again, slowly getting addicted to the thrill of the new and the exciting. But the downside is this nagging prudishness. She won't want to even look at the wine glass you offer her. She'll flinch at the sight of other dancers, and she'll tell you just how she shouldn't even be around someone as risky or dangerous as you. Again, the hand-holding thing, careful. Your fingers barely touch. Don't touch fingers. That's just so perverse. You haven't even come to her with a ring yet. She can get annoying very fast with that. That's why it requires patience. You have to wait. She'll come around, but you can't push her. If you try to push too hard, she'll only know you're not the right one for her, and her daddy was right all along, and she'll be sure to bonk you hard on the head before running home to her father. But if you can succeed, she will be the ideal wife. Aphira is no stranger to home life, as she lived it her whole life and can easily merge into the role of housewife. But you'll need to be careful because that traditionalist upbringing can bring itself out in her. You need to let her see that her passions can run a bit wild sometimes. Let her have fun in bed. Let her enjoy herself in the house. When you have kids, why not let her have the excitement of letting them off their reins just a bit? If you want a girl who requires a little extra work to get to, and you have the patience to prune that flower, then you'll be very satisfied with Aphira. She's not for everyone. She's for the right one. So who wins? Now, of course, there are no losers here, except maybe you, Shaman. You're no thank you, as I'd be very pleased to date just about all of these ladies, and I'm sure everyone watching this video has their own preference and interest when it comes to women. And after advertising each one to you, I'm sure you've all come to your own conclusions. But for me, I'm afraid I must make my choice. For a moment, guys, I'm going to take off the stupid role for a moment, and I'll be genuinely honest with you, if I may. For me, it's honestly a toss-up between Peacekeeper and Nobushi. Now, I know some of you may consider this a cop-out, but hear me out. There's a reason. Nobushi was going to be my first choice. I'm slightly biased because, as a few of you may know, I had a girlfriend from Japan when I was in college who I really had a wonderful relationship with, and so, I confess, that does skew my choice a bit. I like a girl who is a bit submissive but not dependent. A woman who I know will love me for who I am, take care of herself and me, love our children, and be devoted to our family. In every Japanese family I've had the pleasure of knowing and interacting with, that's what I've seen from the married women in those families. I'm aware that's the ideal, however, and it's fully possible that it won't be the case. But when I think of Nobushi and the kind of woman she likely would be if she was real, I see that ideal in her. And I can't deny that's a major factor for my decision. But I do admit I am biased. I also want to consider Peacekeeper because of that. A girl who's small in stature but strong at heart, who's had to deal with some baggage and uses that to harden her resolve, and yet has the potential to show vulnerability. In Peacekeeper, I see a girl who puts up a front for the world, but behind closed doors wants an arm around her. A place she can hide and a person she wants to devote herself to, because she wants happiness, and for a long time, she's convinced herself that she didn't deserve it. I relate to that. And because I understand what that's like, I see a kindred spirit in her. To a certain degree, I see some of myself in Peacekeeper, and so I do feel that attraction. That's why it's a toss-up for me. I think my first choice would be Nobushi, but at the same time, I can't be sure if my bias and past relationship doesn't have a part to play in that choice. So if I put all that aside and try to focus on one that I relate to on a personal level, Peacekeeper is that choice. Sure, some of you can call it a cop-out if you want, but that's how I feel, and I wanted to be honest about how I felt in that regard. But that's me being serious and honest with you guys, and as I said at the start, this video is meant to be stupid, so let's wrap up that serious lovey-dovey stuff right there. Don't listen to this pining of a hopeless romantic. Let's hear from you. Let me know in the comments who you think is best girl in For Honor and why. Did you enjoy this video, or was it just too stupid for you? And don't get me wrong, despite what I've said, I actually think every one of these ladies brings something wonderful to the table. Yes, even Shaman. I mean, I guess if you picture her as like a curious puppy who followed you home and wants to be affectionate, I suppose that's somewhat endearing to a certain clientele, and I guess I can understand that. But I just wanted to make this video because, well, I like just having some fun and being stupid sometimes. Don't we all? Okay, maybe I'm the only one, but that's why you guys love me, right? Right? I hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and stay tuned for more awesome videos. And I will see you in my next one. Take care.